Every great creative work stands on the shoulders of giants. Welcome to RetroInspection, where we examine and find out where the things we love today came from.
We're on the quest for Batman because
Yes.
Batman didn't really have what is it uh, a unique birth, as it were. He didn't spring from Jupiter's head.
No.
Um,
It was kind of like yoink, yoink, yoink.
yeah. Listen, Zorro. Okay, Zorro means
Yeah,
fox in
you know,
Spanish.
yeah.
Murcielago means flying fox in Spanish. Murcielago is a bat.
Yeah.
So it didn't take much, even for people like I don't want to say it, but listen, Kane was not the most educated person, but
That
it
I
didn't take much to kind of put the ideas together, right?
no, and again, I was a dick earlier, and I'm not backing off of that. But what I will say is, again, we have established that even Zorro by this point is already in the tradition. So again, Pimpernel, you pack back beyond Pimpernel, for crying out loud, Robin Hood.
Right.
And who did Robin Hood come from? I mean, there's maybe a case. Nah, I was thinking about Lord Byron's this big ass poem called The Jowler, but that's not quite the same kind of deal.
No, and Robin Hood, we think that Robin Hood actually was written in the first being told, or at least written down in the 1400s, 1300s.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, but it'd been like an oral tradition story before that.
But like Robin Hood, Zorro is running around against the power of the usurper
Yeah.
king. The governor is the usurper of the king in terms of power and influence. So yeah, there's a direct line between Robin Hood and Zorro, and a kind of a diagonal from Pimpernel to Zorro, but there is a direct line from Zorro
Pimpernel was
to
not
Batman.
exactly a defend the underclass. We'll get into this, but he wasn't a defend the underclass, rob the rich, give to the poor guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but Batman, uh, you know, I see Zorro's character, John Diego de la Vega, being more the Bruce Wayne of the '60s Batman TV show.
Yes. Yes. I don't I'm not arguing with that. What I'm going to say is, yeah, I'm going to amplify it slightly. He is also the Batman of the first 12 to 18 months of the comics. You go back to the very first Batman story, Case of the Chemical Syndicate, and Bruce Wayne's just this rich guy. And he just, he's knocking around town. He's up late one night and he goes to see Commissioner Gordon because Commissioner Gordon is like a friend of his dad's. And he just rolls into the police commissioner's office because it's like, hi, screw you. I'm the richest guy in Gotham. What's happening here, Commissioner? And the commissioner's like, oh, this guy who owned a chemical company just got murdered. And it's really disgusting and horrible. And Bruce Wayne is, again, like I said in Pfeiffer's phrase, the rich idler, the kind of, foppish, sort of languid guy. And he's just sitting there smoking a cigarette. Batman smoked for like the first decade of his existence, incidentally. He's sitting there smoking a cigarette and going, yeah, that sounds really boring. Anyway, I think I've heard enough of your garbage. I'll see you later, Commissioner. And that's when he goes out to his car, which is not yet the Batmobile, and changes into his Batman costume and starts to investigate the crime, and it snowballs from there. That story's been reprinted and retold many, many times. Steve Shives on YouTube did a whole thing about the various adaptations of Case of the Chemical Syndicate. But so Batman is kind of in that mold. He's dating Julie, what's his face? She's like his first girlfriend. And it's that usual routine of, oh no, we're at this high society party and a bunch of jewel thieves busted in. How do I turn into Batman without letting Julie know my secret identity? but it's a whole, but Wayne has the pose of he's bored by everything. He's lazy. He's not even particularly well educated. I mean, he's not, Batman is, of course, but Bruce Wayne displays Don Diego at least displays culture and in education. Bruce Wayne doesn't bother with any of this stuff. He's just like, I'm a rich guy. That's pretty much it. And Alfred doesn't even exist at this point. Bruce Wayne lives by himself. He may not even have Wayne. I don't think he even has Wayne Manor that early. I think he lives in like a townhouse or something. I mean, the developments in his mythos, like the developments in Superman's, come fast and hard within the first couple of years. So this is like I said, for the first 12, 18 months of Batman's existence until we get to about 1940. This is his pose. This is how, and back then nobody's even trying to connect Batman and Bruce Wayne. That doesn't even occur to anybody. This is almost like a preemptive pose that he adopts.
Like, subscribe, repost, share everywhere. To see what else we're up to, visit xynobooks.com, xenobooks.com.